Hello everyone, welcome back to CoolWiFiKidz. In this session, we're going to be learning
Guys, the Wi-Fi today is so laggy.
Well, maybe it's on a low frequency.
A lower frequency? What does that mean? And why would it even matter? What's the difference between a high frequency and a low frequency?
Well, we're going to find out.
Yep, let's do that right now.
This is a signal. It connects to AP from your client device. An AP, if you can't remember, we talked about in our last episode. So check that one out if you haven't already. Also, another word for a signal is a frequency.
But what does that have to do with faster or slower internet? I just want to play my game with better internet.
Well, it all goes something like this. As you can see, there's sort of like pattern, and it goes middle, top, middle, bottom. And that just keeps repeating. Middle, top, middle, bottom. It's sort of catchy.
Yeah, that's right. Wait, I think I understand it now. So basically, each one of these top things on the signal, aka frequency, is a cycle?
Exactly.
Oh, but how does this relate to frequencies again?
How to calculate a frequency is just to figure out how many cycles there are in 1 second. Not 5, not 3, not minus 100 billion, 1 second.
Okay. So, let's count the cycles in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, if this entire length of red was 8 cycles, and this entire thing was 1 second, that would be 8 cycles per second.
Yeah.
Which would be 8 frequency? Or how would we measure the frequency? What unit?
We would use Hertz.
Hertz. So this would be 8 Hertz?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So, but this doesn't relate to faster and slower internet, right?
Well, if we go back to something like this, then it doesn't always have to be 8 Hertz. As you can see, it sort of got more and more and more. It sort of hurts your just saying. But we can also stretch it out, which shows that you always don't have to have it 8 Hertz. It can be shorter and longer too.
Okay, so I get it. So what you're saying right now is that this signal right here, the one that's right in front of me,
Right there.
not the one before, this one only has 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. 4 cycles compared to the other one's 8. Would this be 4 Hertz?
Exactly. Like I told you, it doesn't always have to be 8.
So, but then what about the other one? The fast one. What about that one?
Well, that has a lot of Hertz. I don't think we can count it all though.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it has a lot, which means that it's probably not 8, definitely not 4. So it's definitely not 8 or 4 Hertz.
Oh, yes. So, here is a diagram that we have of the signal or frequency. So, we can see that we use the 8 Hertz and the 4 Hertz. So, the 8 Hertz is the red line, and 4 Hertz would be the green line. As we can see, we can also categorize them as high frequency and lower frequency. Because 8 is a higher number than 4, the red line would be the high frequency than the green line. So now let's take a look at the distance between each cycle. So here is the start of a 4 Hertz cycle, and it goes all the way there. As you can see, that's the wavelength of a cycle. Now let's go here and go to a red one, which is 8 Hertz. And now we're just going to drag it, and we're just going to drop it here. So this is the wavelength for a 8 Hertz actually. So now let's look at what we can see. So the 4 Hertz wavelength is definitely longer than the 8 Hertz. So I would assume that means the lower frequency has a longer wavelength than the higher frequency, which is the red. So also in Wi-Fi, there are 3 major bands: 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and 6 gigahertz.
But how many cycles are in 2.5 gigahertz?
2.4.
I mean 2.4.
So if kilo is 1,000 and mega is 1,000,000, that would mean giga is 1,000,000,000. So 2.4 gigahertz would be 2.4 billion cycles per second.
How many would 5 gigahertz be then?
Well, using the same formula, I would say 5 billion cycles per second.
So 6 would be...
6 billion cycles per second.
Good.
Wait, so using all the knowledge that we now know about wavelengths and 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and 6 gigahertz, I think it's safe to say that before, when I was playing my game and I was far away from the access point, I was connected to a 2.4 gigahertz band. And when I was on that 2.4 gigahertz band, I experienced a poor quality experience, like not very nice. But when I got closer to the access point, I may switch to a 5 or 6 gigahertz band, which improved the experience.
Oh, yeah.
So, in this video, we covered frequency, higher and lower frequency, wavelength, and if you want to have a better experience, it's better to stay closer to the access point and connect to a 5 or 6 gigahertz band rather than staying far away and joining a 2.4 gigahertz band. Well, that's going to be the end of this episode. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode of Cool Wi-Fi Kids.
Yeah.